Abuse doesn't knock. It seeps through harmless moments until you find yourself trapped in silence. Hi everyone, my name is Anisha Nassali. Today I want to talk about those early warning signs, the red flags that aren't just relationship problems, but are actually the first stages of abuse. Understanding these signs could literally save your life or the life of someone that you care about. Before moving into specific red flags, we need to understand why abuse is so hard to identify in the early stages. Abuse rarely starts with violence. Instead, it develops gradually, with the abuser testing boundaries and slowly increasing their control. The slow progression means many victims don't realize what's happening until they're deeply entangled into the relationship. By the time more obvious abuse occurs, victims often face significant barriers leaving the relationship. For example, financial dependence, isolation from support networks, diminished self-esteem, and genuine fear. Statistics show that it takes an average of 7 attempts for someone to successfully leave an abusive relationship, about the same number of times it takes to overcome addiction. Sign number 1, love bombing. When someone showers you with excessive attention, gifts, and affections very early in the relationship, it might feel amazing. Who doesn't want to feel adored? But love bombing isn't genuine. It's a manipulation tactic. Love bombing creates an artificial high in the relationship that the abuser will later use against you. They remind you of how good things used to be and make you believe that you can get back to that magical time if you just tolerate their current behavior. It's comparable to a drug addict's first high that users chase but never experience again. Once they feel that they've secured your attachment, the lavish attention disappears. The extreme affection was never about you. It was about establishing control. Number 2, double standards. When the rules in a relationship consistently favor one person, it's not just unfair, it's potentially abusive. Double standards are a clear message. I can tell you what to do, but you can't tell me. Examples include demanding your phone password while keeping theirs private, restricting your friendships while maintaining their own, or having different standards for going out, for example, drinking or socializing. These double standards establish a power dynamic where one person is positioned as superior to the other. Sign number 3, controlling everything. Control in abusive relationships often begins subtly. It might start as helpful advice about your appearance, your friends, or even your career choices. Over time, suggestions become expectations, then demands, and eventually restrictions. Financial control is particularly dangerous, encouraging you to leave your job, managing all your money, or creating financial dependency makes it harder for you to leave the relationship later on. Other controlling tactics include monitoring your whereabouts, isolating you from your support networks, or making major life decisions without your input. Sign number 4, intimidation. Any behavior designed to frighten you into compliance is a serious red flag. This includes punching walls, throwing objects, invading your personal space during arguments, yelling in your face, or making threatening statements like, "You're making me so angry, I don't know what I'll do." These behaviors communicate a clear message: I might become violent. When someone shows you that they externalize strong emotions through intimidating actions, they're demonstrating that they might easily cross the line into physical abuse. Sign number 5, anger and anger. Someone whose emotional profile leans heavily towards anger presents a higher risk for abusive behavior. This doesn't mean that every person who gets angry is abusive, but when anger becomes the default response to most negative emotions, whether they're feeling sad, embarrassed, afraid, or even guilty, it's concerning. The combination of anger issues and substance use creates a particularly dangerous situation, as substances reduce impulse control and can remove barriers to violent impulses. We're halfway through the video, so before I share the next 5 signs, let me know if you're getting value so far by commenting the words "I deserve the best" in the comment section. Sign number 6, hidden guilt trap. Abusers systematically work to separate victims from their support networks. They might criticize your family and friends, create drama when you spend time with others, guilt trip you for having separate social activities, or suggest moving somewhere far from your support system. The goal goal is to make you completely dependent on them emotionally, making it harder for you to leave when you need to. Sign number 7, testing your boundaries. While full-blown gaslighting often emerges later in an abusive relationship, the groundwork is laid early. Watch for comments that undermine your perception of reality or your trust in yourself. It might start as seemingly harmless jokes about your bad memory or your sensitivity. Over time, these comments escalate into outright denial of things that definitely happened, insisting conversations never took place, or claiming that you're crazy for remembering events accurately. The goal of gaslighting is to make you doubt your own experience so completely that you rely on the abuser to tell you what's real, giving them the ultimate control. Sign number 8, extreme jealousy. While some jealousy is normal in relationships, there's a significant difference between someone feeling occasional insecurity and someone using jealousy as justification for controlling behavior. Healthy jealousy involves recognizing the emotion, communicating it respectfully, and working through that feeling. Unhealthy jealousy leads to accusations, monitoring your communication, restricting your interactions with others, and angry outbursts. When someone responds to their own jealousy with anger rather than vulnerability, it often signals the lack of emotional regulation skills, a common trait in abusive personalities. Sign number 9, lowering your standards. It doesn't start with insults, it starts with jokes. Backhanded compliments like, "You're pretty for someone your size. I'd never cheat unless it was with a celebrity." They all seem harmless at first, but they're not just mean, they're strategic. These comments are designed to bruise you quietly. They make you second guess your worth while giving the abuser an easy way out. Relax, it was just a joke. But it's not about humor. It's about testing limits and seeing if you'll stay despite the sting. Little by little, you accept less respect, less kindness, and less love, and they get more control. Because listen carefully, if they can make you laugh while you're hurting, they can make you stay while you're breaking. Number 10, punishment behavior. In a healthy relationship, problems are talked about. An abusive one, problems become weapons. When you upset them, they don't talk. They punish. You get the silent treatment. They pull away emotionally. They blame you for their outbursts. "If you hadn't done that, I wouldn't be acting like this." Or they play the victim so convincingly, you end up apologizing for calling out their hurtful behavior. These aren't mood swings. They're control tactics. The goal? To train you to tiptoe around them, to give in, to avoid conflict at all costs, because every disagreement feels like a trap. You'll stop disagreeing, and that's exactly what they want. These early red flags aren't just warning signs of potential future abuse. They are already forms of abuse themselves. They might be more subtle than physical violence, but they can cause real psychological harm and lay the groundwork for escalating abuse. If you recognize these patterns in your relationship, please know that you deserve better. Healthy relationships involve mutual respect, equal partnership, and feeling to be safe, not walking on eggshells, constantly apologizing or doubting your worth. No one deserves to live in fear or under someone else's control. You deserve dignity, respect, and genuine love, not the counterfeit version that comes with abuse. If this video made you feel seen, please share it. Someone out there needs to hear it too. Leave a comment if any of this hits home. You are not crazy. You are not alone. And if you want more honest talk about love and healing, hit the subscribe button. You don't have to keep surviving. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve peace.